was a very dark Sunday, the 3rd day of June in the year 2012, when an ill-fated Lagos-bound Dana air flight from Abuja, Nigeria, crashed into a 2-story building in a densely populated neighborhood at Iju, Ishaga, a suburb area of Lagos State, Nigeria, killing 153 passengers and crew members, as well as about 6 other people who perished on the ground. Oh my goodness, it was a horrific tragedy indeed. Not a few people who heard about this calamity at the time may have totally forgotten all about that tragic accident. It was a gory sight to behold. I lucidly recall the Bellevue air crash that occurred just after takeoff from Lagos, Nigeria on October 22nd in the year 2005. That crash terminated the lives of 117 passengers and crew members. There was also the Sosoliso air crash on the 10th day of December in the year 2005, which slammed into the ground at the Port Harcourt International Airport and ended the lives of 108 passengers and crew members, with only 2 survivors thereof. It is a truism that there have been numerous air crashes, car crashes, and other forms of accidents and calamities all across the world for centuries, and to a large extent, many of such tragedies and misfortunes were completely out of the control of the victims. Marcus Aurelius Antoninus was a Roman emperor from 161 to 180 AD. He was also a renowned Stoic philosopher. Here is one of his philosophies about the reality of humanity. He said, "Life is neither good nor evil, but only a place for good and evil." End of quote. That, my friends, is very instructive. I recall a tragic incident that occurred on Friday, December 14th in the year 2012 at the Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut, in the United States of America. 28 persons, 21 children and 7 adults were brutally murdered after a mass shooting that occurred, which was perpetrated by a 20-year-old Adam Lanza, who reportedly also shot and murdered his own biological mother. Similar mass shooting incidences have occurred across the world, particularly in the United States of America over the years, oftentimes leading to the loss of lives of innocent people. Indeed, adversity is the fate of humanity. It is a word synonymous with calamity, accidents, affliction, difficulty, suffering, misfortune, bad luck, hardship, misery, pain, sorrow, trouble, tragedy, setback, downfall, ruin, devastation, bad news, havoc, grief, scourge, unhappy circumstances, damage, casualty, destruction, illness, crisis, obstacles, emergency, disappointment, disaster, failure, frustration, discouragement, defeat, collapse, and so on and so forth. Every human being encounters difficult circumstances from time to time. Life is full of problems, sorrow, and struggles. Life is no bed of roses. If you wake up in the morning and fail to brush your teeth, there will be a problem when you are in a close-range conversation with someone. Life essentially entails solving problems on a daily basis. There is really no escape from adversity. There is no immunity from adversity, no matter your spiritual affiliations and faith. An ancient scripture says, "Man that is born of a woman is of a few days and full of trouble. End of quote. You see, man in this context is generic. It applies to the male and female genders. It is important, therefore, to note that adversity, in spite of its definitions and synonyms, is a recipe for success. Without adversity, success will not exist. Whatever adverse circumstances we all encounter in life, boisterous voyage matters less. What really matters is how we all respond and not how we react to adversity. Adverse circumstances are often opportunities for success to be achieved. Lucius Seneca, who was also known as the Younger, was a Stoic Roman philosopher of ancient Rome. He said so appositely, "Fire is the test of gold, adversity of strong men." End of quote. Friends, you do not really know what you are capable of if you have not passed through the fire of adversity. Our strength lies in our ability to control our minds and reactions, not in the circumstances that we encounter. Refuse to be your own enemy. Discipline yourself in the face of the storms of life. Your character is molded in difficult situations. Adversity may very well be a setup for your success and happiness. It can teach you things you may never learn in school. Anyone who has experienced success in one area or the other is one who was bold enough to confront adversity and was able to overcome it. Adversity may very well be a series of failed goals or businesses. It may be huge and frightening death situations. It may be turbulent or decomposing marriage. It may be barrenness or joblessness. It may be a wayward child or one that is hooked on drugs. It may be a shameless, promiscuous spouse. It just might be sickness or disease. It may also be chronic financial difficulties or grave humiliation. It may be sexual or physical assault. Whatever that adversity is called, respond to it with courage, hope, and determination to overcome it. Adversity attracts fear and depression, which are lethal weapons in the armory of despair. You must therefore strive to confront adversity with wisdom, hope, and resilience. Success requires great courage and resilience. Adversity gives way when confronted by wisdom, courage, hope, and determination. Even if adversity fastens its teeth on the root of your success and happiness, with wisdom, courage, hope, and determination, you can break the teeth of that adverse situation and snatch success from its jaws. But how would life be without adversity? Extremely strange and boring, you'd agree. Yes, indeed. Adversity is a necessary recipe that spices up life and reveals a person's true character and talents. Hilary Hinton, also known as Zig Ziglar, was a renowned American author and speaker who lived from 1926 to 2012. He said so instructively, "Sometimes adversity is what you need to face in order to become successful." End of quote. Now, imagine you're walking down the street and suddenly you encounter a wandering tiger heading towards your direction. Out of the blue, you recall hearing the news of a tiger that escaped from a zoo and had been seen loitering about. Instinctively, fear grips your heart and you discover your running skills. That is what adversity can do. It is usually a precursor for success. Adversity has made many people to discover their hidden talents. It is no respecter of persons. The storms of life do not discriminate. Every human being is susceptible to adversity. Your response to difficult circumstances that you encounter is what will determine the outcome that you will experience. Truth be told, except for people with mental disabilities, Every normal human being desires to succeed in life, but majority of people do not want to experience adversity. Many do not want to experience pain, difficulties, disappointments, and setbacks. But adverse circumstances mature the human mind. Gold is appreciated better when it has passed through fire. Not a few people are ignorant about the reality of adversity. They see challenges and setbacks as a vicious enemy or as a spiritual attack. Your religion or faith can never insulate you from the challenges of life. Howbeit, they can endow you with wisdom and faith to tackle and overcome such challenges. King Solomon wrote in the book of Proverbs, "If thou faint in the day of adversity, thy strength is small." End of quote. You see, when you are able to turn adversity around, the only thing you'll find is success. One strategy to overcome adversity is to perceive it as an incentive. This will help you to determine how to respond to difficult situations. Someone may ask, what incentive is there when someone loses close relatives in a plane crash or in a terrorist attack? What incentive is there when people get kidnapped for ransom or eventually get murdered by their captors? What incentive is there when someone renders valuable services but is deliberately not paid? What incentive is there when someone gets robbed or raped or humiliated? What incentive is there when someone invests his or her hard-earned money in a friend or loved one only to get betrayed by the ingrate? What incentive is there for a man who had been working in an offshore rig for several weeks and eventually returns home only to discover that his wife had been involved in extramarital shenanigans? A lady sold her landed property inheritance to sponsor her boyfriend's trip overseas, only for the heartless boyfriend to return back to Nigeria a few years later to marry another lady. When a person is bombarded by adverse circumstances that devour his or her hard-earned resources and plunges him or her into a pool of mind-boggling and grievous debts, what incentive can there be in such misfortune? A success is someone who overcomes adversity. Every human being on earth will frequently experience the reign of adversity. How we respond, not react, to such adverse circumstances is what really matters. It was Winston Churchill, a former Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, who said, "Never, never, never, never give up." End of quote. Friends, darkness does not last forever. You must realize that there are different seasons in life. It will not always be winter with its blistering cold. Summer will come and things can change for good. Weeping may endure for a season, but joy will surely come when darkness is overcome. In the day of adversity, one enemy to resist is fear. Many people give up hope and faint in the day of adversity because of fear. Yes, indeed. The fear of the unknown, the fear of rejection, the fear of failure, the fear of embarrassment, and even the fear of death. Adversity is that boisterous storm and monster you see when you lose focus. It may not succeed at overwhelming you if you confront it with wisdom, courage, patience, and determination. Obstacles and setbacks often give up when confronted by wisdom, hope, courage, and perseverance. The only one who can really stop you in the day of adversity is yourself. People may succeed in slowing you down, but if you are resilient and hopeful, you can't be unstoppable. The level of adversity that you encounter will determine the level of success you'll get if you respond aptly to the opportunities that shelter in difficult circumstances. Your greatest disappointment can usher in your greatest breakthrough. You see, there's no technology known to mankind that can stop hurricane or tornado storms, but technology has made it possible to detect and to monitor various categories of storms. Similarly, we cannot prevent storms like hurricane adversity from visiting its wrath on humanity, but we can protect ourselves from the adverse impact of the storms of life. So, Work on your mind and accept no limitations. Refuse to nurture the thoughts of the possibility of defeat. Some categories of adversity may even tarnish your reputation. Some may come in forms of scandal. Howbeit, your character will reveal who you really are. Develop a character of uprightness. What others think about you is not as important as what you think about yourself. Do not allow what people think about you to determine how you respond to adversity. And here's one way to overcome the challenges of life. Always prepare for adversity. Do not deceive yourself with positive thinking ideologies. Do not assume or aver that it is not your portion to experience difficulties or setbacks in life. There is no human being who has not or does not experience adversity. But do not be afraid of adversity, for it often comes with hidden opportunities that can usher in success into people's lives. It is a catalyst that will make you appreciate success. Adversity may destroy some people, but it can also make people great. It is a great price to pay for success, but the price of failure or defeat is even worse. William Shakespeare was an English playwright, poet, and actor. He is widely regarded as one of the greatest writers of the English language. Here's what he said about adversity. Sweet are the uses of adversity, which, like the toad, ugly and venomous, wears yet the precious jewel in his head. End of quote. My friends, adversity is a test of character and a great teacher indeed. It often opens the eyes of our hearts. Victor Hugo, a renowned French poet, essayist, playwright, novelist, and human rights activist who lived from 1802 to 1885, once said, "Adversity makes men, and prosperity makes monsters." End of quote. Hey, tell me, what are you going through right now? Are you in mind-boggling financial crisis? Are you having health challenges? Are you in a marriage that can best be described as hell on earth? Have you been scammed? Is it barrenness or childlessness? Are you being humiliated or incarcerated for something you are innocent about? Did you lose a loved one and the agonizing mental torture of the loss has become unbearable? Have you been betrayed by someone or people that you once supported and loved? Are you a victim of sexual abuse or scandal? What adverse situation are you experiencing right now? Do you want to turn your night into day and your sorrow into joy? If your answer is yes, then you've got to imbibe the virtues of patience, hope, courage, and determination. People often get wiser and stronger when they surmount the storms of life. Napoleon Hill, the renowned author of the best-selling book Think and Grow Rich, paints adversity like this. Every adversity, every failure, every heartache carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. End of quote. Hey, be determined never to quit easily until you overcome obstacles to your happiness. The difference between defeat and success lies in your response to adversity. Great successes were preceded by great adversity. Be eager to navigate your way out of that jungle of setback and misery. If you cannot find a way out, ponder on ways to create a way out. Your mind is one of your greatest endowments. You have immense abilities buried within you. No goal is impossible to achieve if you believe and tenaciously work towards achieving it. Yes, indeed, it is not how many times you fall on the path to achieving your goals that counts, but how many times you are able to rise after each fall. Quitters never win, you know. Emily Dixon, one of America's greatest poets, once said, "A wounded deer leaps the highest." End of quote. Wise people should embrace adversity because the harder the obstacle or setback, the greater the breakthrough. It was Albert Einstein, a German-born theoretical physicist and one of the most influential scientists of all times, who said that adversity introduces a man to himself, and that my friends, is the reality of adversity. Friends, I hope this episode has inspired you one way or another. Let me know what your thoughts are on this subject. Also, please share your experiences with us in the comment section so as to inspire others who may be going through one form of setback or another. Thank you for listening, and here's to your enduring success over adversity.